Pony, my favorite place in North Carolina.
Get ready for liftoff. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, are we on? Testing. I'm scared that it's not
Why
gonna
is
be.
the camera doing that?
Whoa, it's following the mics.
No, it's following our faces.
Oh. Ooh. Hello and welcome to the Ponyverse.
Oh, we're live.
We're live. Hello, I'm Helen, owner of Thrift Pony, founder, head pony in charge.
I'm Little Megs. I'm the inventory manager.
And?
Oh, head trinketeer.
And? I don't know, that's it. How are you doing today, Megan?
I'm great, how are you?
Good. This is like the third time we're recording this, so hopefully our technology works this time. But what is going on with you?
I just moved into a new place.
You bought a new place.
Hey, my daddy bought a place.
Megan bought her first house at 23.
Mm-hmm.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
You're a badass.
It's all thanks to my dad.
Yeah, but whatever. We don't have to acknowledge that.
Yeah, but Eternal Bella, who works here, she moved in. She moved in yesterday, actually. So last night was our first night together, and it was exciting.
What'd you guys do?
We ordered Chili's triple dipper, and we sat on the carpet and ate it because we don't have a table yet.
Cool. Yay. Well, welcome to our podcast. So this is episode 1 of the Ponyverse. Now, what is the Ponyverse?
What is the Ponyverse?
What is the Ponyverse?
Age-old question.
It's a multimedia international conglomerate and worldwide network of podcasts,
Sure.
YouTube, reality TV, a movie,
Possibly.
music videos, and right now all we have so far is this episode of the podcast, but it's coming soon.
For the movie, I want Lily Rose Depp to play me.
Wait, say the thing you said before about Lily Rose Depp.
If I was skinny, I would be Lily Rose Depp, but if she was fat, she would never be me.
Period. Anywho, so yes, I guess in seriousness, the Ponyverse is... It really is an international multimedia conglomerate.
Yeah.
So this is our little fun project because Megan and I both love creating content, talking, whatever. Personally, like when I was starting Thrift Pony, I listened to a bazillion business podcasts and they'd always be like people once they made it, and it was kind of like Monday morning quarterback being like, oh yeah, I did this and this and then I made $1 billion, and it wasn't, you didn't really have to see like everything they were going through and everything like they did to get there. So I want to talk about business stuff because that's something that I think I really would have benefited when I was starting out. So hopefully it can help someone sharing our journey real time in a hopefully funny and like relatable, raw and real way. And just, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like an expansion of Thrift Pony and the community that we built here. That's not just focused on shopping and clothes, but just like, I don't know, there's something special here, specifically in Charlotte right now, with the people that we interact with on the daily basis. So we just want to, I don't know.
Highlight that.
Yeah, highlight that and make more friends.
Yeah, make more friends. And like both Megan and I love content. Like we both love content, and I think just like practicing editing and producing something and just doing something for funsies and not necessarily for business. Like this is kind of fun time. So we're really excited. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I think to start us off, I have some notes.
Okay. Also, Helen has an Octo Buddy, so if you hear the
ASMR. It's also falling off my nasty ass phone. But anywho, okay, cool. So I want you to walk me through your outfit today, what you're wearing, where you got it, and what your inspiration was getting dressed today. So this is a fashion podcast.
Yeah, I was supposed to be here at 10, and Bella was like, when do you work? It's 9:40. I said, oh no! So I got ready in 9 minutes. Today I'm wearing a haze top, a tank top with like a girl's face on it. Courtney, who owns Twisted Cherry Thrift, I think that's, Twisted Cherry Thrift. She sells these, and I made her bring me some yesterday during her appointment so I could buy it off of her. Now I'm obsessed with it, so I got that on. It's like pink and blues and purples, and then I have a smocked slip skirt on. That's definitely not my size, but I just make it work. And then I'm wearing...
Sizes aren't real.
Well... And then I'm wearing Doc sandals that Bree, who works here, got me from her plug at Rack Room, because that's her full-time job. And then I'm wearing my conductor hat that I'm obsessed with. I love conductor
Megan
hats.
loves the conductor hat.
Okay.
I'm wearing this cheetah print vintage little slip dress. Fun story about it, I had this exact same dress and I ripped the strap, and then the next day one of our consigners, shout out Esperanza, brought in the exact same dress, and it's like a vintage brand, so it's kind of rare, in my size, and I bought it. So it's like my lucky little dress with a fun beaded little poncho. I feel like Stevie Nicks when I wear this. A bolo tie with an H on it from Carolina Patch Vintage, and my lucky cowboy boots.
That definitely give her back problems.
Yeah, they give me back problems, but pain is beauty. Cool. And my inspiration today was I was also getting dressed really fast. But I was like, oh my god, we're recording. I have to look cool today.
Well, I didn't even think about that. I was just like, I want to wear this top.
And to level set expectations, we might not always look cute.
Yeah, we're never going to look cute.
This is the cutest we're going to look. But yeah, anyways. Do you have any current hyperfixations fashion-wise?
2010s are coming back. In my eyes, they're coming back.
So are you into like a cold shoulder?
Possibly, if I find a hot one.
A chevron? A statement necklace?
Hey. Yes, statement necklace, yes, but not bubble necklaces.
Okay.
I'm thinking like
Stassi Schroeder, season 1. Vanderpump.
Girl, I do not know what that means.
Okay.
I'm thinking like Vanessa Hudgens Coachella.
Okay.
I was big into Tumblr, but I was way too young to dress like any of that. We have a ring that came in, which is like a 3-knuckle ring with a bedazzled feather. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
I love that. And for reference, Megan is 8 years younger than me.
8 years?
No, how old are you?
23.
Never mind, 7 years younger than me, so.
That's still, whoa.
Yeah. Is that crazy?
I've never thought about, like, the actual number.
Yeah, so our references.
Wait, what's your hyperfixation?
My hyperfixation, this has been my hyperfixation for a while, but any kind of top with, like, something on the boobs. So I just bought one from here that's, like, has, like, whipped cream cherry pies on the boobs. And then I have one from Fashion Brand Company that has that, like, bra top on the boobs. So anything.
And you have the basketball one.
And my basket boob vest, that's my favorite. So, also from Fashion Brand Company, my favorite business ever, other than my own. But yeah, so that's what whenever I see something like that, I always buy it. Okay, cool. I want to do a segue and just, since this is our first episode, tell the story of Thrift Pony and how we got started. And then, Megan, you can tell your story of how
maybe we should
here.
Say what Thrift Pony is first.
Oh yeah, we should probably say what Thrift Pony is first in case you find this somehow and don't know. Thrift Pony is a secondhand and vintage clothing store in Charlotte, North Carolina. We get all of our inventory for consignment, so it's kind of like, I don't like comparing it to Buffalo Exchange, but if you know what that is, it's like similar. But I also like to think of us as like a community hub, a third space that's not a bar where people can come together. We have lots of events. We do comedy shows here. We do vintage markets. We do craft nights, so many different things. And it's really, I feel like there's a really strong community here, and just like a space where people, a hashtag safe space where people feel like they can be themselves and find cute clothes and make friends and all of that. So
Speaking of safe space, is June 25th. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride. Also, happy 1 year anniversary of us signing the announcing that we're moving to Camp North End.
Oh my god!
Taylor told me that. Yeah.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thanks, Taylor, because I was clapping back on an Instagram post from hashtag Charlotte Magazine, not hashtag Charlotte Magazine, just Charlotte Magazine. I was clapping back on an Instagram post by Charlotte Magazine, and I don't think it had an ill intention, but it was just talking about how Camp North End, like, should be better, I guess. Or, like, they came here, I think, on a Monday, and they're like, everything's closed. They've been working on this project for 10 years. Like, why isn't it better? It's, like, more dead than the cemetery across the street, which I guess if you come at 9 a.m. on a Monday, that's true. But, like, go anywhere in Charlotte at 9 a.m. on a Monday and it's dead, other than, like, one Wells Fargo Center in Uptown.
Yeah, but we'll get to how good Camp North End has been.
We'll get to it. But, yeah, so 1 year, because I was crafting my comment explaining why Camp North End's amazing and why the article was ill-informed. And
Taylor's
Taylor,
store manager.
Yeah, oh yeah, Taylor's our store manager. She got like a alert that was like 1 year ago today you posted about this. So happy 1 year anniversary of us announcing that we were moving here. Yay. It's been an amazing year.
Now let's go back to where it started.
Back to where it all started. The origin of the pony. Okay, I'm gonna try and keep this. Okay, I recently learned my Mercury is Gemini, which covers your communication, which is why I communicate really chaotically, and sometimes my stories can go off on tangents, so consider yourself warned. I'm not changing myself. Anywho, so it was 2020. It was spring of 2020, and I had a bit of an online shopping problem. I would order things online from lulus.com and like wear them and then return them. And this was the beginning of the pandemic, but I think I was still online shopping because it was at the point where they were like, okay, 2 weeks, the world will go back to normal. So I was standing in line at UPS trying to return my package, and I was like, this is so annoying. I hate this. And so inefficient. There has to be a better way. That's when I first kind of learned about renting clothes, and because I was like, it'd be awesome if I could just like borrow clothes for a weekend and then give it back. So I kind of started to get the idea then of starting a clothing rental company, but my idea was doing it locally because like basically what I wanted was to like be in my room. Okay, I'm going out this weekend, order an outfit on my phone, it delivered to my house, kind of like Uber Eats. I wear it for the weekend and then give it back. That was like my initial idea. So I started working on this. I decided to call it Pony Box because it was all like locally based. So we were like delivering and picking up the orders from people. So I was thinking like Pony Express and I really wanted a business name with an animal in it because I thought it made it more memorable. So I started working on it. I think I filed my LLC in like June of 2020. And then I was working a corporate job, working from home at this time. I had a job in like data analytics, consulting, whatever. But I always kind of knew I wanted to start my own thing. So I filed the LLC. I had a little bit of savings, and I had like 0 interest credit card that I racked up, bought a ton of inventory, got someone to make the logo on Upwork or whatever, and then took all my website photos here at Camp North End with my little tripod, and then ended up launching in October of 2020 out of the garage in my little townhouse that I rented in South End with a roommate. So, before I launched, I like initially wanted this to be an app. So I was meeting with all these app developers because I don't know. I thought
she has big dreams.
I have big dreams. And I was like, oh, we're going to be way too big for like Shopify. Like we need our own custom app. And this lady was like, girl, like Patagonia and Forever 21 use Shopify. Like you're insane. And it'll cost you $100,000 to get an app made. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use Shopify. But anyways, hashtag dream big. But we launched in October of 2020. All my friends came, super supportive, but then like after that initial launch party, it was like crickets because we were still in a pandemic and because like my business kind of sucked. Like, I don't know, just like it was ugly. The website was ugly. It was just like a mess, whatever. But I was learning. So I kind of took that time. I was like posting on Instagram, figuring out, like watching a lot of TikToks about business, figuring all of that out, figuring out branding, whatnot. In the spring, I started doing markets around Charlotte. Like I think I did the Girl Tribe Market and like Front Porch Sundays and all those markets. That's when I started to gain traction, meet people, get kind of like feedback on what people were into, started getting orders, started doing that. all while I had my full-time job. And then I guess fast forward like a year and a half, spring of 2022, the rental business, was growing a decent bit. And then I was at the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to quit my job.
My PA Taylor is bringing me my coffee.
Coffee delivery from Tipsy Pickle.
Thank you.
It's that camera.
Thank you, Taylor.
Taylor just delivered Megan a coffee from Tipsy Pickle, and it looks really good. But anywho, so I decided I wanted to quit my job. At that point, had like paid off all my debt that I had accrued from starting the business, and had saved like a little bit of money. I think it was like $8,000, which would get me through like 2 months. But I was like, I don't know, it's now or never. I can't do this anymore. So I quit.
She quit.
I quit my job, and that's when like my life began, I would say. I ran out of money so fast, ended up being able to get this North Carolina grant for startups, which allowed me to rent out this tiny studio space in East Plaza Midwood to have a showroom for the rental business where people would come try on clothes before they rented them. I hired Megan, not this Megan, another Megan. She was my first employee, and we started doing like little events. And what we were noticing was our events would like crush it. Like so many people would come to them, but not that many people were renting clothes. So we were like, hey, let's do a consignment sale because we were running out of money. At this point, I had also started working at a coffee shop, shout out People's Market, because I had no money and had to pay my bills. So we decided to do a consignment sale. We did all of the selling by an appointment. We opened up the appointment calendar, and in like 20 minutes, all like 100 appointments had been booked. And I was like, okay, we might be onto something. Then our first consignment appointment was this girl who was a vintage collector. She was moving to Texas the next day. She was like, I have all this stuff, just take it. We opened up her suitcase, I'll never forget, and it was like Carrie Bradshaw's wardrobe. Like it was the coolest shit I'd ever seen in my life, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like this is the best. Like I want to do this forever. And continued getting all the clothes. It was super chaotic, super disorganized, super hectic. Had the first consignment sale. We called it Thrift Pony because the business was called Pony Box, so to keep the pony in there. So like hundreds of people came. We made more money in that day than like we had in months combined. And that's when I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Like we found something, because clearly like this is what the girlies want. We did like one more pop-up. Then I convinced my landlord to let me turn our little showroom into like an actual store. And then we opened the Thrift Pony store in February of 2023. And that's when Little Megs joined the story.
Enter Megan.
Enter Little Megs. Tell your story.
Okay, yeah. I said this joke in the last 3 times we recorded this. I'm saying it again. When I first started at Thrift Pony, I was a socially anxious college student. Now I'm a slightly less anxious college graduate.
23-year-old.
Mm-hmm. So my sister and I, we both lived in Charlotte when I first started school, and we went to a Girl Tribe event that just my sister's alley. She loves that kind of stuff. And I met Hellen, and she was advertising Pony Box and stuff, and that is one of the only people I actually remember from the market, because it was just such a great idea. And I had rented from Rent the Runway for like my prom dress my sophomore year of high school, so like I was familiar with the idea, and I thought it was a great idea. And then my sister won her giveaway for Dua Lipa tickets and an outfit to go see it, and she just like was always up to date with like what you were doing.
Yeah.
And then
I remember her.
Yeah. She sent me a story you guys posted of like, we need plus size models. And I was like, I'm like stuck in my dorm room. It was like kind of after COVID was happening, so I was like, let me just try. I put in my email, literally like 5 minutes later. She said, okay, perfect. We'll email you the information later today. I was like, I'm doing it? Oh my god. I did not expect this.
Well, because I remember looking at your Instagram and being like, this girl is so cute. Like, you had such good fashion, and you like knew how to pose, and like, I was like, I need her.
And I was not as confident then as I am now. So that was a crazy time.
Yeah.
But so I had red hair at the time, and I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god, they're not going to want someone with red hair. So I bought brown hair dye and dyed my hair that night. And then I was at the photo shoot, and halfway through, Helen came in with wet pink hair, and I was like, are you kidding me? But then I saw they were going to launch Thrift Pony, and I was like, I need a job. I was at an Ariana Grande concert, and I sent a little email. I was like, hey, if you need help, let me know. And Helen was like, awesome, let's do a phone interview. So, I don't know if it was like December.
I think it was December, because we were going to open in, like, we were going to close for all of January to get open, and then open in February. So I think it was like end December, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in December, we had a phone interview, and you were just like telling me, this is what your job's going to be. And I said, oh, so I got it. Like, no interview at all.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah. And then I started in January before we even opened. And
I think
so
I think I had decided to, well, I liked you. And then you also were like, I'm a Virgo, so I'm organized. So I said, perfect, because I'm so disorganized.
And I don't know if I've held up to that statement, but
I think if you had been any more organized, you would have gone insane. Mm-hmm. So I think you were like slightly more organized than me, which worked out very well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so then you were there like the month before we opened. I feel like you started doing our consignment appointments, and like I didn't even really train you that much. You just kind of trained yourself.
Yeah.
Like you just started looking up prices of things on like Poshmark and being like, this should be about what this is, and like you're a very naturally curious person, so I feel like you just would like look into things and then learn, and I'd be like, oh, she's good.
Thank you.
But I never will forget like when we were in the process of building out old Thrift Pony, that original space, and I think like my boyfriend Alex was over mounting like racks in the wall or something, and I was doing some work, and then Megan was in the back tagging clothes, and she came out to the front and was like just bombarding me with all these ideas like that you had for events.
Oh,
and
make it sound so negative.
No, but it was in like a fun way, and I was like, and they were really good ideas, and it was like, for our first Thrift Pony pop-up, we had different themed racks, and one was like Harry Styles, one was like Sex in the City, and put like clothes that have to do with that on that, and she's like, what if we did like themed events, and each event had a whole theme, and all the clothes there were a different theme, and I was like, that's genius. And we sat there and we planned out all of the themes for the whole year, and like basically did all of those. Mm-hmm. Like I think one was like Barbie, one was Hunger Games, one was like I don't know. I thought this was so clever, but I feel like nobody else got it. But we did like Luck of the Irish for our March one, which was like Disney Channel mixed with St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, we did a bunch of everyone called it the decon.
Oh yeah, we did Disney Channel original movie one. That was so fun though.
Yeah,
I kind of missed that. It was kind of hell to prepare for. Mm-hmm. Like it was so chaotic just having to like sort everything by category, and like we don't really have the space anymore, but I'd love to bring that back someday.
I think that's a perfect example of like how our brains work together. Like we have very specific ideas for how we want things to go. Mm-hmm. Like this shirt is not Cheetah Girls. This
is Twitches.
Yeah, this is Twitches. So like we are so in line with like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like a vibe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. We like vibe together. So then we just like know how that kind of stuff. I don't know. Our brains just work together in that way, and everything else is just like, oh, let that be.
Yeah, like I think we're both kind of like vision people. Mm-hmm. We're not execution.
Hey, we're working on it.
We can. If you ever come here and you're like, this is a little disorganized and messy, both like physically and like, it's because visually like.
Hey, that's why we have Taylor.
Yeah, that's why we have Taylor. Yeah, so we're big picture.
Yeah.
We're visionaries.
Yeah. We're creative.
Yeah, we're creatives. Like, but, and then we kind of just, I feel like we like have brute forced the rest of it, which I think is an important lesson. Like, one thing I've really learned is like things don't have to be perfect. Like, it's okay to be messy. I feel like I see so many businesses or just people like if they're trying to put something out, whether it's a business or like a creative idea, focusing so much on like making sure certain things are perfect, like I don't know, just like branding or like photos and whatever. And I actually think like some of the reason we've been successful so far is like because things have been messy, and it's kind of more like relatable, and it's like a little bit more interesting, and it kind of gives people a lens into like the humanity behind the business instead of just trying to look so like corporate and put together. And then on our side, it like takes some stress off. Like when I first started, I was like, I just have to be okay with it being messy, because like if I am worried about it being perfect, like I'll never get anything done, because like it might not be, you might not be able to tell, but I am kind of a perfectionist in certain things, and I really had to just be like, no, because like I'm gonna go insane. And I think anyone trying to do anything, that's like the best lesson, is to just do it really messy, especially from the jump, because if people are used to seeing things messy, it's like then that's like kind of what they expect. But it also like, I think people like it.
I think that's, again, also a reason why we were so successful. Our first, like, grand opening ever, we did it White Lotus themed. We curated racks for every character in the second season, right?
The second season, and, like, it was literally just because, like, we were watching White Lotus at the time and, like, thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I think we did first and second season, maybe.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
But we were so excited to do that, and we curated everything, and we, like, use social media to our benefit.
Yeah, we like dressed up as the characters the night before. Like my mom was, who was my mom? I think my mom was Portia. Or no, were you Portia?
No, it was.
I don't know. I was like Quinn, the little brother, like
and then we
stays on the island.
Forced Helen's boyfriend to dress up as
the prostitutes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And he slayed.
We used what we had to our advantage, our creativity, our social media, and like our personality, and I think that's why people came out. And
yeah, it was so stupid, like
we had
so fun.
One of the highest revenues that we've ever made in a single day on our grand opening, and the space was tiny.
It was like maybe 1,000 square feet that people could shop. Then we had racks outside, and I think we made like $30,000.
I think it was
that
25.
weekend. 25 the first day, maybe.
And 25 the first day.
Yeah,
yes.
and like that is nuts.
Yeah,
like in it felt nuts, but then looking back, like as we've grown, I'm like, that's fucking insane.
We were still building racks before we even opened doors. Like we were
barely, like we weren't even ready. Our point of sale system wasn't working, so we had to I had to manually go back in and pay every single person for like the items that sold. It was such a disaster, but I think I just remember going back in the back room during it and being like, holy shit, like I have an actual business now. And like the feeling of working so hard for like 2 years and not paying myself and, you know, making peanuts. Like I think the most we'd ever made in a month was like $4,000 or $5,000 up to that point, and just putting so much money, putting so much of my money into it, so much of my time, just like, and emotions and whatever, and then just like, the analogy is like pushing this giant boulder up a hill, and then that was the day where it just like finally like fell down the other side, and I was like, holy shit, like we're going now, like this is a business. And it was like truly, to this day, like one of the best days of my life. Yeah,
I still think I don't think we could have done anything different to get to this point. Like everything's been a trickle, not a stream, and I feel like it was meant to be that way. The first day showed us how great it could be. Yeah, and then it was
kind of a struggle after that for a little, and like
every struggle after that taught us like we
lesson.
have to put in work and we have to get better and better, and then we have like our team has made us better, and then I don't know, there's so many different things and like lessons we've learned from, I don't know.
Big one, just how important it is to be organized.
Right.
Organization is important, and like this might look chaotic behind here, like if you're watching on the video, and if you're not, we're surrounded by like piles and racks of clothes. We're in our little consignment desk. I'm gonna turn off my phone notifications, sorry.
But it's like we've been taught so much from, I don't know, the space we were in, the consigners I don't want to say dealt with, but like had the pleasure of helping out and go through their stuff.
I think we've learned boundaries too, because I think at the beginning we didn't know how to like say no to people, or like we'd feel guilty saying no to people's stuff. and like hurting their feelings. And I think just like we kind of saw when you say yes to everything, like the negative impacts of that. And like, I think I'd say like boundaries and organization are honestly the main thing, and like maybe communication a little bit.
Yeah. So we taught that with the consigners and then the shoppers who are our friends now, and then like the people who worked here. There's just like so many amazing things that have come out from February 4th, 2023 to now. Like, I don't know.
And just like, I think, and so many hard things too. Like, I feel like on social media, I'll always hear people say, like, people always glamorize business, but it's actually really hard. And, like, yes, it's really hard, but I actually feel like maybe I'm just an optimist, but I'm like, I don't think people glamorize it enough. Like, I feel so lucky that I'm able to do this. I think it's, like, the most fun thing I've ever done in my entire life, the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my entire life. And I think, like, I want to share the struggles, but I also want to share that, like, I don't ever want to, like, if this is something you want to do, I don't want to ever deter anyone, because, like, there are hard parts, but I think there's hard parts to anything you do. Like, if you're just sitting at a desk, like, being bored out of your mind, like, I think that's hard. And so I think I just want to share my honest experience.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's changed me a lot as a person and, like, my own character, communication and organization in my own life. Like, with people who have worked here or the consigners, I have learned to speak up for myself and, like, also, I don't know, just say my feelings, and people want to hear it. Yeah. And it's not just, oh, I'm in my head, yada, yada. It just makes the connections to people so much more important and, like, meanwhile. So, like, I don't know. Thrift Pony is a multimedia conglomerate.
It's an international multimedia conglomerate. And I think that's a good segue into, like, I want to talk a little bit about, like, what is actually going on right now. Segue from, like, talking about communication. So we're in, like, a big transition period right now. Taylor, you're good to turn on the music. We're in a big, like, transition period right now. We just had to let go of some people. Some people left. Like, this is kind of an example of where communication is important, because, like, everyone who I've ever hired here, like, I've really liked as a person, and, like, I consider myself friends with, and I've had to have some conversations recently that are harder, but I think, like, ultimately, and I hope the people that I had these with would agree, like, it honestly has, like, made us a little bit closer, and, like, for some people it just, like, it wasn't working out. Like, retail's tough, and it's not necessarily for everyone, but, like, I've kind of learned through the past few months the importance of being really, like, honest and just approaching those types of situations with, like, transparency and honesty and care, because it is delicate, and I think a lot of times things go sour just because people aren't, like, really being honest or communicating about what they need. And
now you're coming out of it with mutual respect for each other.
Mutual respect. Like, we still talk. Like, we, like, everyone, you know, who we've parted ways with recently has gone on to do something, like, really, really cool, and, like, I support them. Like, they still... everyone
here is so creative, and they've been able to, like, achieve their goals, and Thrift Pony's not just a consignment shop. Like, we're here to support creatives, and, like, we're gonna have those people at our markets, or, like,
and, like, have them come, and, like, my goal is for anyone who comes through here to, like, it to set themselves up and help them follow their dreams in whichever way possible. But so right now, like, we're going through that transition period. Our event manager / lead stylist, Carmen, recently left to start her own styling business, which is really exciting. So that left, like, a big gap, so we're working on how to fill that.
In my heart.
Yeah, a gap in our business and in our heart. But, like, shameless plug, if you need styling, she's really amazing.
And it's all secondhand.
Yeah, it's all secondhand, and she's a really good thrifter, really good styler, cool girl.
She's just awesome.
I love her. Anyways, and so filling that gap, I'm trying to decide if I, like, want to do that stuff myself or outsource it. I am very controlling when it comes to, like, creative vision, and I feel like events are part of that, so I'm, like, working on what I can give up and what not.
And that's also, like, our bread and butter, so we don't want to just cease.
Yeah,
the
like I
existence
feel
of
like I
it.
always get advice from like random, it's usually like older men that are like, just hire a college kid to do your social media, and I'm like, no offense to college kids, but I'm like, you're acting like it's like some dumb easy job. Like it's like what I spend most of my time on. I think it's like the most important thing ever.
That's why there's literal careers called influencers.
Yeah, and
for
it
people to do
multi-million dollars. So
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah, so still on the hunt for our second location. Whatever, they're not gonna listen to this. It's between two places, but I try not to get too excited because these things fall through so easily. Like I've already had things fall through. One of them I was like leaning towards a little more, but then it was like honestly, both of them are amazing. Both of them would be amazing. I was having such a hard time deciding. One's just bigger, so I was kind of leaning towards that one, but then that one, because of zoning, like we can't have a store there, and I'd have to get a zoning attorney, and it would take years and be like thousands of dollars. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go towards the other one. Both of them are like perfect, like exactly what I wanted, and in my price range, which is like nuts for the location, which is to be revealed, I guess, at some point. But it's been really hard just like getting emotionally attached, and then like I don't know, it's like I kind of have just been saying like, Jesus, take the wheel, universe, it'll reveal itself, whatever's meant to be will be. But it's stressful because it's a lot of money, but we're gonna have to hire a whole new team for that, and I think I'm kind of setting myself up with like how we're gonna train people, scale what we do here over there. My biggest concern is like the social media of it all, but everything is important. We got a 1-star review yesterday, which like kind of made me spiral, but in hindsight I think I just hadn't eaten lunch yet. But sorry, there's a bug.
It went right on my chin.
I'm working on having a thicker skin to those kind of things. I think like in my head I'm like, I want to have a perfect 5-star Google rating, but like I can't live my life based on our Google rating. Like I think I'm learning the balance of taking feedback while also like some people just aren't gonna like you, and you can't control that.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I spiral about that stuff all the freaking time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like a mean comment, and I freak out over it.
Yeah, what have you spiraled about
I'm
recently?
unaffected by that. That
Really?
1-star review means nothing to me because
I feel like we spiral about opposite things.
yeah, it was just, I think I get more offended whenever it's something that like we did.
Yeah.
And this is obvious. Sorry, girl. She saw a close sign to our consignment entrance and then walked to the next door. That's what the 1-star review was.
Yeah, she came to our back door and it said closed because the back door was closed. And it said, there's a giant sign on the door that says store entrance that way. This is not an entrance. And she was like, so yes, it was like lack of reading, but I still like, in my mind, I hate when people get the wrong impression. Like, I don't know. I just think I hate that someone had a bad experience, and I think I need to get over that because, like, there's gonna be, like, you can't become big without people having a,
But
like,
what I'm unaffected by is we didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
That was not our fault.
I think I'm like, okay, could we do anything better? Like, maybe have another sign, but, like, we have a million signs. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not gonna harp on it. What was something that's made you spiral recently?
Someone once called us, the other day, someone called us expensive. And I'm the inventory manager. Like, I do
Megan controls all of the pricing.
most of the prices. And I don't know. I don't think expensive is like a negative word.
Mm-hmm.
But people, I don't know. Reselling and thrifting is definitely popular right now, and a lot of people are doing it. And there are expensive resellers, okay? But I think our prices are very affordable as a consignment shop. Like, people make a 40, 50, 60 split. Typically around 50.
Yeah, like, we pay for our inventory. It's not, like, donated to us. And I think, like, even when a Salvation Army, like, our stuff is cheaper than some of theirs now.
Right. And
we pay for it.
that felt like such a hit to, like, what my job is. And, like, other people's perception of what the store is. Oh, that place is super expensive. Don't go there, yada, yada. And then he followed it up and said he got something for $20, which I do not consider expensive.
That's also, like, on the high end. Like, I would say there's, like, not that many things in the store that are over $20.
Right. Unless it's worth it.
Yeah, unless it's, like, a leather jacket, which, yeah. But, anywho, I think, like, something, like, I think we just need to work on being less people pleasers, but that just comes with time and experience, I think.
Like, for you, people having a bad experience, and that's what makes you sprout. And for me, it's perception of us. That's what makes me spiral.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I'm working on like acknowledging my emotions, because a lot of times I'm like, oh, this is stupid to get worked up about this. But I'm like, no, it did make me angry, because I work really hard to put up signage that's clear and like to do this, and this. And like the fact you can try as hard as you can, but someone still like can get the wrong interpretation does upset me. But I also think it's like, it's going to happen again. So.
And I think that's also a great lesson to be learned for anyone else, mainly women, who are a little bit more
people
emotional.
Pleasers.
Yeah. You can lead with emotions, and like that can teach you how.
There's lots of positives. They like emotions have bad PR in the business world, because it's like you're not supposed to have emotions, but like I think having emotions has brought us a lot of
really close with the people that work here, and why
Yeah.
the relationships are good. And it's also like, we're affected by these things, so maybe I do need to decrease the prices, or like maybe we do have to have better signage so people won't have bad experiences. It has definitely like led us to growing, and I don't think it's a negative bad thing to be emotional in the business. Yeah,
I think like being aware and whatever. So yes. Anywho, this is our first episode, so obviously please give us feedback. We're going to be posting on our Instagram, like, questions and stuff, if there's any topics you want to hear us cover. The general format of this is going to be very loosey-goosey, probably not edited much. We're going to try and interview a different person every week-ish. We have a really good guest next week. Teaser. He's a video vixen.
He's a star.
Okay, to close us out, Megan, tell me what are you watching right now? What kind of like media are you into right now?
Ooh.
What's something that you're watching? What's in your Ponyverse?
I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks.
Oh, what are you listening to now?
I'm listening to Taylor Jenkins Reid's Atmosphere. I just finished Carrie Soto.
Okay.
And now I'm listening to Atmosphere. Happy Bride.
Happy Bride.
She's such an amazing author, and since I've been moving, I've just been putting on the audiobook so I can like unpack.
I love that.
It's awesome. What about you?
I am watching season 32 of Survivor. I've been rewatching all the old seasons. I've gotten really into Survivor since our neighbor Kenzie won. That was the first time I watched last year, and since then I've probably watched like 20 seasons. I'm watching that, and then I'm kind of back in my podcast, my like inspirational podcast mode. I just listened to the episode of Diary of a CEO with Jimmy Fallon, and I cried. It was really good. If you're looking to be inspired, it's really good. Yeah, okay. I think that's all we have for today.
Do you want to do the piece of clothing we're feeling?
Oh yes. We are starting a segment where we say what if this past week. Do you want to say past week?
Yeah.
If this past week could be described by an article of clothing, what would it be and why? You go first.
Oh, I brought that question up and I still don't know. A dirty, worn pair of jeans that has like grass stains and like mud around the edges of the hems. But they're like so comfy.
Why?
I've been putting in the work, baby. I don't know. I just feel worn out and cozy.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. I think mine would be a pair of cowboy boots because I was in Nashville this weekend.
Oh my God.
And I got really inspired by the singers on Broadway. Like, I just love when people are following their dreams and going for it. I also feel like I've been dressing cuter and wearing my cowboy boots, but my back has been hurting more. And I've just been feeling like yeehaw recently.
Okay, we're done.
Just like yeehaw, let's go for it. Like, I'm clapping back to people. I responded to one comment. Oh my God, it's time to stop because 2 cuties are coming in. No, you can come in.
It's locked.
Oh. Okay, whatever. Okay. Wait, Megan, we have to sign off.
Okay.
It's okay, we're podcasting. Bella and Maria just walked in.
With
Bella
my triple
is
dipper.
hot off ThriftCon, New York City.
Hey guys.
She's looking really cute today.
Thanks, I miss you guys. Oh my God. Okay,
She's our local celebrity. But okay, well, thanks for listening, ponies.
And welcome to the Ponyverse.
Welcome to the Ponyverse. We'll see you next time.
Love ya.
Bye. Yay, I think that was